there is a bit of negative flair about the Ministry of Defense in general, and that's why President decided to change. So it's not the direct allegation of corruption of the minister, but his inability to cope with this problem on his position.
President Zelensky has dismissed his defense minister, saying it's time for a new approach. It comes just as military leaders celebrate breaching Russia's first line of defences in the south. Alexander Khara is a former advisor to the Ukraine Minister of Defence and joins us from Kyiv. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Can you tell us, first of all, a bit more about this success that Ukraine has had in Russia's defences in the south?
Well, we are putting all our bets on southern direction and putting our hopes that Ukrainian defense forces may accumulate those small advances on the positions around Russian stronghold in the region. And then it would be converted into the qualitative success of Ukrainian defense forces. So as far as I know, we live in time of operational security, and there is not a lot of, let's say, information we can rely on from the media and from other sources. And certainly I'm not going to reveal anything that might be possible to get from our military. But we are, let's say, conservatively positive about what our forces are doing. They are in state of attrition of Russian, first and foremost, armaments over there. And they are advancing on a position that would allow us to turn to the so-called mobile operations. We've been criticized recently for inability to do this under circumstances that we don't have air force capable of, dominating in our skies, and now we are showing that our tactic is much better. We preserve our forces, first and foremost our soldiers, and we are bringing this moment when there is a possibility to apply armaments and armored forces and large-scale operation to cut Russian supplies from the occupied Donetsk region to the southern regions connected to Crimea. Okay. And all our strikes deep into Crimea are showing that we are succeeding in it.
Now, you talked about the criticism that there has been, that some people have said that the counteroffensive has been too slow, and that coincides, it seems to, with the dismissal of the defense minister Oleksii Reznikov. And apparently it's time for a new approach, is what President Zelensky has said. So does that all kind of tie in then, that if the counteroffensive has been slow, it is now this new approach, this new movement of personnel will signify a new approach?
Oh, no, it's not related. The rumors about the replacement or and possibly our Minister of Defense would go to London as our ambassador. At least there are some rumors of that kind. But the defense minister is responsible for logistics, for supplying our forces with the domestically produced defense articles or donated by our partners. There have been some scandals related to the procurement of the, let's say, items like the uniform and other things, even though there are no, let's say, proofs that no minister knew something, because we have a pretty complicated and huge system, and there are opportunity for corruptions over there. So there is a bit of negative flair about the Ministry of Defense in general, and that's why President decided to change. So it's not the direct allegation of corruption of the minister, but his inability to cope with this problem on his position. Our chief of defense and the supreme commanders are those responsible for the strategy of this war and application of resources and forces that we have against the Russians. So it's not related. But what's important with this decision, and I believe it's a good sign, especially to Washington, the new Minister of Defense is of Crimean Tatar origin. And before that, he had the state property agency, which is running Ukrainian state property, and the how it's called, privatization. So he believed to be a good manager, and certainly Zelensky puts hopes that he will be able to cope with those allegations of corruption of the ministry and Ministry of Defense related contracts.
Okay. Alexander Khara, thank you for clearing that up for us. That is Alexander Khara, who is a former advisor to the Ukraine Minister of Defense, who's speaking to us from Kyiv.